Heidegger said, language speaks us. And I start there because as soon as I say the word race, there's going to be a response. Some of you will check out, tired of the conversation. Others will put up their defenses, and still others will get aggressive as race speaks to each of us differently. As our signifier and signified vary across the board, and I've tried to simplify for the sake of my mind what I mean by race, and I've realized I always see a competition. It's tied up in the word, a winner, a champion, running at the best time, no injuries as he crosses the finish line, and the flag waves as everyone else is defined by their losses as we talk about race. Now before I go on, I know I have this pigment covering my bones. Skin that holds my soul in its place. Skin that scabs and tears and freckles pervade. Skin that gets me through the airport security gates faster. Skin that I didn't ask for. Skin that invites an interesting slur. Oh, she's so white, and I'm not complaining either, because I know as soon as I talk about race, I know where I'm placed, and I am ashamed. Because I know Dr. King's disappointment with the white Protestant moderate. And I've read James Baldwin's letter to his nephew with his tired hope set on a few to be led by their convictions and really follow through and act. And I've studied Langston Hughes' sagging, heavy dreams of Harlem, muted like Gwendolyn Brooks, grayed in gray rooms, unable to move up or out. And I think about Mike Brown. Maybe not completely innocent, but certainly not deserving death, and Tamir Rice's mother at Christmas, missing her son's final years of playfulness, and I wonder at the missing pages of Sandra Bland's final days, as Eric Gardner gasped out his final phrase, and what could I possibly say about race when I see blood on my hands, because they're the same color as George Zimmerman's. The words I say now in the day-to-day are an attempt to erase my guilt by association, as a beneficiary of a biased system desperate to save myself from the assumption that I'm just like them who are winning the race, who have passed prejudice legislation, built companies and wealth on exploitation and the perpetuation of a rigged system. I'm not like them. I'm supportive, I'm caring, but in my heart there's a burden of shame too heavy to carry, ashamed of murders I've never committed in towns I've never visited, and honestly I cringed when I looked in the mirror and said I'm white. I winced when I thought I am fearfully and wonderfully made by a God who makes no mistakes and that includes my ethnicity written all over my face. And am I allowed, is it okay to believe that I am beautiful and lovely, knowing what I know about systematic poverty in this economy of Black, Asian, Native American, Latino, Caucasian bodies, when I remember that this is a race? And caught up in my language, one heritage retains all the privilege, and I know one guy's gonna get the advantage. It's an either-or dichotomy, where both and can't coexist in mutually beneficial unity. So I think in contest instead of community. Instead of sharing, I'm only expecting disputing. Tooth or nailing in this life or death game, and there can only be one victor. With these semantics, I have to pick my winner. And because I hate the way that history has played, I want to put my money and my mouth on some other race. But let me say, trying to help a noble cause, but compelled by guilt and proving yourself won't last long. That load will only overwhelm. Only when the truth that skin is God-given sinks in and not a competition. That I was knit together in my mother's womb with precision, and so were you, made carefully and thoughtfully. And only in a race is that truth threatening, where only one can be the best and the rest are left wrestling over the scraps. And how long will that back and forth last? This neck and neck straining to get or stay ahead will end in either more shame or more hating, both violating either yourself or others, neither motivated by peace or love or benevolence. So let's be honest about what flesh is. Beyond the color of one's skin, in the biblical sense, it's original sin, that wickedness that we're all born with, that wants someone to go down just so that we can be lifted, where we hoard with clenched fists just to hold it over somebody else, and there's only one exit working from the inside out instead of the external edging its way in. And it's more than our speech, although that's a good place to start. It's our hearts, now willfully parted from Jesus' kingdom, where the first will be last and the last will be first. It's a turning to a new system, no longer built on earning, but on limitless love for disappointing, vacillating, undeserving members of the human race, yearning for something our words can't communicate, can't encapsulate, but it resonates. There's got to be an end to the race, to the shame and the hate, brothers and sisters. It's only in Jesus' name, and the fact that he died out of love for you and the neighbor, replacing our words and our ways with his truth and grace. Amen and amen. Let his kingdom come and let his deep freedom reign.